100.7 brings you engaging conversation on trending news.
We need the federal government to sort whatever issue they are having with ASU.
And by December this year, 4,000 MOUs will be employed in Europe.
It's explosive.
Well, first of all, we must understand that war in itself is a display of anarchy. When you talk about war, that is lawlessness at its peak. When you say you are fighting war to keep Nigeria one, no. You fought the war as a manifestation of your incompetence in the management of the crisis that was then part of Nigerian history.
Hilarious.
I get malaria, my cancer. Behind every successful man, there's a woman at the front.
Stop shaking your head. You stop shaking your head. You're one of those who are causing problems.
On action,
and daring.
Mr. President, God will ask all of us, but you will be in the front. I will say, I've told the Senate President.
Our nation remains one of the most insecure and least peaceful in the world today, making Nigeria one of the hungriest countries of the world. Nigerians now spend nearly their entire income on feeding.
We may be hungry, but we can manage our hunger.
My appeal is that you dedicate 20% of 2025, roughly 72 days, to visit each of the 36 states.
Catch the drama, feel the excitement on Straight Talk on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri with the Radio Marshal Barry Cosmos. Every weekday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join the conversation on Straight Talk with Barry Cosmos. Straight Talk, get straight analysis, no bending corners.
Let's be poor. Breathe.
Every day,
every hour,
every minute,
and every second,
breaking news occur
from our villages,
in our cities,
new government policies,
the economy,
politics,
social news,
entertainment news,
security concerns.
We the people converge
to analyze,
separating facts from fiction,
lies and truth.
We dissect,
we integrate,
we harmonize,
we criticize,
and we bring you all the juicy details.
Live on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. It is Straight Talk.
Straight Talk.
Straight Talk on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri.
Shall I begin? I am your host. I am your anchorman. I am the presiding bishop of this ministry, and I am awesome. My name is Barry Cosmos, the Radio Marshal, the Buruburu One on radio, the Okenze on radio, your big brother on radio. I am the main event, and I am here.
Live on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri.
Are you ready?
A very beautiful morning to you out there. Good morning and welcome to the show. Wow. It's a brand new week and happy new week to everybody under the sound of my voice. It's another wonderful time to be with you live on Echo FM 100.7. How on a day this morning? I hope you had a very beautiful weekend. Welcome to a brand new week edition, and today we have loads and loads of news and information to just dash out to everybody this morning. So call your friends, call your enemies if you have any, because it's time for the Must-See program, time for the main event on radio. It is a Straight Talk live on Echo FM 100.7 right here in the city of Owerri. My name is Barry Cosmos, the radio machine, one on radio. Welcome aboard, people. Today on the show, quite a lot to discuss, but then we will be focusing on the INEC boss who is in the eye of the storm from the Islamic scholars and, of course, the Sharia Council for Islamic Studies in Nigeria. They are asking the president to cancel the appointment of Amopitan as INEC boss based on his memo. It's called a legal brief, Christian Genocide in Nigeria, Implication to the World. He wrote that in the year 2022, or 2020, was it 2020 or 2022? He wrote that, and now that Sahara reporters went and dug up that particular write-up, the Islamic nation in Nigeria is shouting, Tinubu, oh yeah, sack him, pack him, let him go. Wow, it's very, very awesome to hear this particular aspect of our Islamic rule where they are calling for anybody who says there's a Christian genocide to be sacked from his job. What a bombshell. All right, so lots and lots of stories are coming up from that angle. And, of course, in that story, Amopitan likened the present and modern-day banditry terrorism to the then Ottoman Danfodio's movement that was all about expansion and territorial grabbing in Nigeria, advancing the cause of Islam, as well as moving, taking lands and conquering places and making it their own and establishing Islamic caliphate and all that. That was the Ottoman Danfodio's movement. But right now, what exactly is this jihad all about? It is the Islamic people, the Islamic terrorists and extremists. Now, what is their agenda? Why compare this and that? So the Sharia court and the Sharia council is blaming Amopitan for saying that, and he cannot be left to serve as INEC boss because he is supposed to be an impartial judge, but he has already judged. That is according to the Sharia Islamic court and their leadership there. So that is the bone of contention now. Now we want to go back in time for this whole thing to just unravel some things. The president, when he was an opposition member, went to the United States with other APC bigwigs and chieftains, asking for support to depose the then president, Goodluck Jonathan, over Christian genocide. They were the ones that took it to the United States. Now the United States is shouting Christian genocide. The same people who took it there are saying, hell no. Now, Amopitan needs to pay the price because of the same thing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said in 2024. Because of the same thing, 2014, not 2024. Then the same thing the likes of the late former President Buhari claimed when the Chibok girls happened. Of course, then President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a then an APC chieftain, former governor of Lagos State, was saying the buck stopped with the president's table. So in this manner now, where did the INEC boss, Professor Joash Amopitan, had any fault in this? So if the Sharia Council is asking Amopitan to be deposed of his position, should they also ask for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be taken away from power? Because he said the same thing Amopitan is saying. So why is Amopitan different from the part of what the president said and other lots and loads of elites northerners who were in the Washington, as at that time in New York, to meet with the then president? So these are many, many more. Well, President Donald Trump has said he has approved their own petition. Trump is always stirring troubles. Well, with all that happening now, let's take a look at these in confidence. We're going to go back in the days. Where did we all start all this craziness of land grabbing, taking people's land, killing people in the name of what? Holy war. Have you ever seen a war that is holy? You are killing people, maiming people, raping women, taking people's wife. Thou shalt not kill, you are killing. Thou shalt not convert your neighbor's wife, you take. Thou shalt not convert your neighbor's goods, you take. Thou shalt not lie, you take. Thou shalt not do this. All of them, you are doing it and you call it a holy war. How does that work? So this is exactly what we'll be talking about today on the show. Without fear or favor, let us discuss this once and for all, and let's take a look at historical facts of what led to where we are today? What led to where we are today? I've been taking a look at a lot of religious battle. Now, it is beginning to become like they are trying to pitch the Christians against the Muslims and the Muslims against the Christians. The narrative is now sweeping from what it is to what they want. So now it's a narrative of Christian and Muslim fight. That is not the issue. The issue is people are dying. People are being killed. Who is doing the killing? Islamic extremists. We have a lot of wonderful Islamic people, great men and women in Nigeria. They are not the killers. So nobody should make it look like it is a Christian and Muslim fight. No, it is not. It is a genocide committed by a group of Islamic people who think that they have the right over people's life and over people's goods because they feel that their religion gives them the power that if you are cultivating, you're cultivating for me, I will come and take it. So with all this craziness that's going on in the midst of people who misinterpret a lot of things written either in the Quran or in the Bible, it is very, very funny that the Nigerian government is now taking a look at it from a different perspective other than the real perspective, which is people are dying and they need to stop dying. Now, it's a Mopitan in the middle of all this. Should a man lose his job because he made a personal opinion on a particular very, very troublesome matter? That is the question I'm throwing to everybody out there. Whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, should a Mopitan be asked to leave his position as INEC boss because he made a claim, he made an assertion which is personal to him that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria? That is the question I'm asking this morning, people. Everybody, let's hear your take on this one live. Go and join me live on Facebook or join me live on YouTube or Instagram, wherever you want to watch us from, and be part of the program. Send in your messages and I'll do well to read them out. Let's get to hear your thoughts on this particular thought-provoking issue. Right, today I'll be joined by our political analyst, of course, Steve Ozomina will be joining us later on in the show, and we will try to go back in time, take a look at the history of all this craziness that is happening now. Christian genocide has dominated even the international press right about now. So everybody, let's jump into it. Welcome aboard to the massive program. Welcome to the main event on radio. It is a Straight Talk. Let's go straight to our newspaper review because there's no time to waste. Even if time day, Corino Day, let's just jump into it and bring you our newspapers from the local front. First, we'll start up with the Star Post Express. The Star Post Express this morning, Akaburonye delivers Namde Azikiwe Maiden Memorial Lecture. All right, that is one of the lead stories on the Star Post Express. Imo State, Ozadima just rewriting the map of New Owerri. Prince Ugochukwu is talking. America not far from the truth about savage killings, persecution in Nigeria. Batos Nwadike is saying. MPFL 25-26 session. Say the mid-table is Kun Khalifa clashes with Rivers United. And we also have Nigerians are ready to re-elect Tinubu. That is coming from ABJ 2027 presidential election. An Imo Muslim Council visits over the correctional center and extend succor to Muslim inmates and others. All right, Governor Nwifuru deserves your unconditional support. Partner Ebonyi Information Commissioner Affairs journalist, and that is coming from the Star Post Express. We move on now to the News Point, the Nigerian News Point. On the Nigerian News Point, Nnamdi Kanu bags Freedom Fighter of All Times Award as case adjourned to November 20th for judgment. Obiozo, we are digitalizing ITC revenue, brought in brand new vehicles, open new units. That's coming to, according to MD, our innovations repositioning our company. That is according to the Nigerian News Point. INEC declares Soludo winner of Anambra governorship election. Of course, that is no longer news. I'll give you a little brief about that later on the show. Governors will rise against Tinubu in 2026. Prophet Ekwana is speaking. Professor Soludo will be re-elected. This one a story. And this one a story. All this prophet, Mona Karuna prophecy goes down. We don't need it to talk about politics. Because now so na do 2023, oh Jesus, with him that one name, he say Tinubu will be elected, but on the day of the swearing in, he will be arrested. Tinubu did the rule, they got 3 years now. Carry your prophecy, Mona, go hide. anytime when it comes to religious prophecies, I am not interested. Keep yourself to the pulpit. Deal with religious matters and leave political matters. When I own, I just to find cheap publicity. I said it, and no apologies to any of you. All of now, political prophecies, every time, go and hide. All right, thank you very much. Defunct ANPP bloc in APC demands VP slot, other positions in Tinubu's government, backs president's second term. That story is on page 10 of the Nigerian News Point. Defunct ANPP. Well, that was one of the blocks that made up the APC. They're demanding VP slots. So the current VP, what in the ways and do? Ajumbe, what in the ways and do? Man, I see now. When I take time there, don't go and cause confusion now. Transition of a priceless jewel by Innocent Oswaha. Of course, alleged land-grabbing scandal. Controversy, suspicion as Olu monarch overrules town union over case with church. Stakeholders, he is alone on this. All right, they are saying that Eze is alone on this. Why is it that Eze don't have respect again in Igbo land? Eze will talk. The people will say, you're on your own. Why do we keep doing that in Igbo land? All right, why are we not going to have this kind of disrespect when we have Eze in every corner, Eze, every corner, Eze, every hamlet, Eze. Who is now Eze? If I get tired, I will just go find one village, just for myself, turn myself to Eze. Oh, ha. Just find one land, build house. Everybody can lead. I'll be Eze of that community. Name and Barry Cosmos Village. Oh, ha. All right, so journalists, everybody take a look at this one. Why do we have too many Ezes? And now Ezeship has little respect from the people that are leading. This is our traditional, these are the custodians of our culture, and yet we don't respect them. Imagine an Eze saying, no, you leave this land. Who is supposed to be the custodian of all lands in the community? He's not the Eze. Now Eze has no mind to say, you're on your own, oh, carry the go. Well, that's it for now. Imo journalist petition Suzadima over use of police to intimidate media in Imo. I don't know how long Imo journalists will cry before government will listen. Imo journalists, even if you go and just to go and cover what is happening, they will beat the living hell out of you and break your phone. All right? That's not, it's madness. Imagine where, let's take, for instance, police is doing something there, and you as a journalist go to report or cover what is going on so the people will see, hey, your body will tell you. If they are doing something, the one with the investment and interact when even get too much power when it comes to dealing with it, they'll still beat you. You will be, even if they go see your car, branded those social media, they will still break the car. And nothing will happen. This is getting too much, and we need to protect our media personalities. See, it's not everybody that has the guts to say or talk on radio. Because some people, even when you are talking, they'll be calling you abego, you don't talk too much, abego, save your hair. Say, why? Because they know that you are endangered species. People are just being treated anyhow because you're a journalist. It doesn't make any sense. Being a reporter makes you understand, if I am not here, maybe you may hear this news or read it, you may not hear from other perspective, just like what we are doing here. Anyway, our guest has joined us. Steve Ozomana is in this building. Good morning. Welcome, Steve.
Good morning, Barry.
All right, you are a political scientist, and we are journalists, and they are dealing with journalists anyhow and anyhow. What say you?
I've always said it, that Imo State is one of the states that are very intolerant to journalists as far as Nigeria is concerned. Because over time, you can, just like you are saying, you can read the harassment of journalists. In fact, most journalists are afraid in Imo State. That's why you don't get to hear about so many news you're supposed to hear in Imo. Many of them are afraid to report because of fear of their lives. So I think there is need for His Excellency to look into this matter. I mean, it is embedded in our Constitution. In fact, it is the right of the journalists because they are doing their job. They are doing their job for the society. Without the journalists, we'll be like blind people who doesn't, or even deaf, who don't know what is happening, we don't hear what is happening. It is only the journalists that are bringing informations to the people. That they're also helping to sell government policies to the people. So they are important both to the government and to the people. You should treat them. Before now, journalists are treated like the way you treat priests. They are sacred. So you cannot see a certified journalist who is working in an established environment like Echo FM, you have your tag, you have your camera, very, very inscribed with Echo FM, and you can also identify yourself. In a scene, your duty is to cover the event. In Igbo, do you know what they call journalists? Ndị nta akụkọ. Hunters for news. That is the description. So you go after news. You're not invited. If you are walking along the road now, you see a scene, as a journalist, you are meant to stop, know what is happening. Because it can form either the headline of your newspaper or your news. So it is your duty. And not when you stop and somebody will say, why did you stop? You say, I'm a journalist, and the big person will begin to, harass you, beat you. It's not. That is not
even when you want to report these days, you will hide the fact that you're a journalist.
Okay.
Because once they hear that you're a journalist, you're done.
It's just like a policeman revealing his identity before an armed robber.
Now I know
so,
what.
no work now.
One bullet for you.
Yeah.
Bullet to your head.
So I don't think it is a good thing for us.
All right, let's move on now to the Daily Trust newspaper. Genocide claim. FG silent on Amupitan's legal brief. Well, the federal government has remained silent on a 2020 legal brief reportedly written by the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, which is going to be the focus of our discussion that will take us around all that. So let's move on. Anambra LP ADC candidates reject results as Soludo re-elected. What you know they reject? I beg accept this. Hey, all of them, I'm going to go park, leave Soludo when serve the next 4 years. I don't know what they reject. What did they reject? Go cut. May they chop your money. I beg go sit down. Carry your money, go give
Let them go and waste their money, because before now, they should have understood that Anambra election was already a done deal.
Now, that election, a lot of videos that were emanating on the social media and reports we're getting from sister radio stations and all that, that when you go to the polling unit, you see people voting in their numbers, but the result sheet is not there. So where's the result sheet? And what is going to be used to announce the result or write the result is the result sheet, and the electoral umpire there, the officer, either the returning officer, that polling unit doesn't have it. It's not one, not two, not three. So many polling units we have seen. What kind of election? Is it a new tactics of winning election now?
Well, I think some of you were actually expressing optimism with the appointment of Amupitan. And I told you that there is nothing new that is going to. Instead, we are going to see perfection of what Mahmoud left behind. In fact, more scientific way of rigging. Because it is not about Amupitan. It's about our politicians and our political process.
Now, according to, of course, it started here in Imo State, 27/27. Now it's 21/21 in Anambra State. Now, we have where every incumbent wins re-election. Unless the powers that be from federal don't want to.
Exactly.
Win. Now, we have this culture. Is it not high time we'll make a one-tenure pattern like it's been proposed, like the likes of Ugochinya and the rest of the 6 years, 5 years? Peter Obi is proposing 5 years single term. The House Committee in National Assembly is proposing 6 years single term. Things like that. Is it not the best? Because this two-time tenure is not helping anybody at all. Because once your second tenure comes, you just do practically nothing. You just to consolidate on things that you've done and start preparing for the next election of your successor. So what exactly do we need to do as a political scientist in this one now that we can salvage this situation? Because elections these days are no longer elections in Nigeria.
What do you think will happen if you have a problem with a candidate that have 2 terms? It is expectation of the Constitution and democracy that because you have eye on the second tenure, you will do well in the first tenure.
That's a mirage.
That is expectation. That is the ideal thing. That what you did in your first tenure is what will push you to the second tenure. People are going to vote for you based on your work at the first. So if you now decide to make it a thing, a bad workman will always
whatever with the tools.
Exactly. So if you now decide to make it whether 5-year term or 6-year term, and now that I know that it's only one time that I'm going to serve, when I come there as Igbo people will say, so when you climb an Iroko tree, you should get as much firewood as you can, because you're not going to climb that wood tree again.
But at the end of the day, it's not going to be better off than spending 8 years and doing absolutely nothing. Because what we're seeing here now, even the first tenure, they do 1 year, 2 years, and that's it. Because I recall here in Imo State, during the reign of Governor Rochas, we saw massive projects in the first year. In the second year, and then in the third year, the thing started dwindling. And in the final year, oh man, everybody knows the story. Same thing happens now. Well, Governor Hope has done a little bit different from what we used to know, because in his first 1 year, 2 years, he was fighting battles. So he had to fight battles of insecurity and all that, and then he now succeeded, and then it started working, at least in the next third year, fourth year, we started seeing massive works. So it's kind of different, but in the second tenure, you see that everywhere just catch cold.
Don't you think even what is happening in Imo now, don't you see it's just like a fire brigade approach? Now you are, I think Opus Odema have served 2 years into his second term now.
I think 1 year.
January will make it 1 year. So it's next 2 months.
Yeah.
That will be 2 years. So you have only 2 years to go. Well, I wish him well, but he's trying. But if you look at the way he is handling projects, it's like fire brigade approach. You are now trying to, and I wonder how many of these projects that will be concluded before he left. The problem with Nigeria is our political process, our political culture, our political orientation. That is our problem. So there is no, under corruption, there is no system that you are going to introduce that will work. I am telling you the truth. Our politicians they already, kind of scheduled themselves waiting for you. With any electoral amendment you will make, they will find a way to break it. If you say once single tenor, they will still find a way. Now, if I go out like what is happening in Rivers State, if I serve out my tenor, I will have to install a stooge. There is, in Rivers State, is not an extension of Wike's administration that is going on. So has he actually finished his tenure in Rivers State?
That's what we're saying. After 8 years, they still do the same thing. So, well, if you stay less years, is it not better for Nigerians and you stay 8 years, do nothing, and continue your extension of your tenure until probably you start fighting like Ngige Ufot, his own people that install him. So this whole electoral system is not working in any form or shape. But let's take a look. Peter Obi, of course, this is his own state where he was former governor. He voted, and then he described vote buying is ongoing. Now, what the figures that are quoted are alarming. They are now buying vote 20,000 to 30,000. And the voters, as I hear now, they say, they don't say vote 20,000, 30,000. Make our own turn reach, make them collect 20,000, 30,000. Now, according to Peter Obi, he says, my personal experience is that democracy is deteriorating in our society, in our country. Unfortunately, those who are the victims of bad governance seems to be fueling it. I have been able to listen to people around me on what is happening today. What you see is that vote buying is on a scale of 20 to 30,000 naira. The question I ask is, if you sell your vote for 30,000, what is he going to be paid next month by selling your vote? You are selling no school, no hospital, no job. You are selling away your future, and that is what is very worrisome. That is the words of Peter Obi. And then you now come, the people who are taking this money, they feel that's the only thing they're going to get from these people, because once they get into government, they don't have anything again. That mentality, how on earth are we going to change it?
I think it's only by constant sensitization, just like we're doing on radio, doing on television. You don't blame the people, because the politicians have weaponized poverty. People are really poor, that if you go out here now, just bring 100 naira and then fling it up, and you see a lot of people,
diving in,
scribbling for it. That is to show you the level of hunger existing among people. So vote buying is just a new way.
Shouldn't that be a prompt for them to come out angry and remove whoever is wrong in government?
Which angry way are you going to express your view now? Barry, I want you to understand the predicament we are into. I want you to let us face the fact before we begin to talk about solutions. We are in a very dire situation in this country as far as politics is concerned. Now, come out. Okay, we have talked about the journalist, the problem of if somebody like somebody who is known as a journalist, we have a problem carrying out his or her duty. What about ordinary citizen? Now, you want me to come out under this particular situation to come and protest in Nigeria? What about people who have done that? Where are they? People who did hunger protests. When? That was about more than 6 months ago. Some of them are still in prison up to today. Nobody's asking about them. So it's like these people have indirectly defeated the people. You know, the only way that you can express yourself, which is protest, you know, demonstration, peaceful demonstration or protest, government is actually gradually taking it away from the people. That right is gradually being taken away from the people. So how do you express yourself? And now when you talk about vote buying, like I told you, that the problem is with the system and the politicians. Now, do you remember before we started practicing this semi-electronic system we are now using in our electoral process, when it was purely, not even optional effort, what is purely manual. That time, the politicians will use the number of registered voters in the register. If you have 2 million voters in Imo, you know, the INEC will provide 2 million voters what do you call it? Paper.
Slip, yes?
Yes, that's what they're going to bring. So the politicians will actually print that 2 million. And that is when you see carrying out of ballot boxes
running.
Are you getting me? So now, that one is no longer in vogue because we are now having a kind of semi-digital, what do you call it now, electronic system where the beavers will now have to capture accreditation. So you no longer need to come and carry the ballot or carry the whole ballot
You only
papers.
need the figures.
You only need the figures. So they now concentrate on using the figure that beavers, that is why you will not see, what do you call it, result sheet now in the polling unit. They keep the result sheet and then wait for your accreditation. After the accreditation, they now use the figure that is accredited. And you can see how voter, what do you call it now, has dropped significantly. We are now witnessing what you call voter apathy. Well, how many did you record in Anambra? I think
just 500. 508,000.
How many registered voters do you have in Anambra? More than 3 million. So now the only option for them now is to use that figure and then keep the result sheet somewhere. So after you everything, after your voting, they will now look at the figure and then input the result in their own favor. And there is no other winner. Before then, you don't hear about vote buying because they can use their talks and carry everything. But
it was an open thing. The governor said whoever local government or ward win 2 million, 1 million, 5 million. It was like Kurokuro openly displaying vote buying, and they allowed him to contest. And now it's that 2 million, 5 million they give to everyone. It's now going 20,000, 30,000 for everybody.
So where is INEC?
So imagine the person giving you 20,000.
20,000.
How much does he even
How many people can resist it? Where did he get that money from that he's giving you?
So, well, when they calculate all this money that go over to 500,000 voters, like they said, calculate 20,000 by 500,000. Check and tell me the figure, somebody. Anyway, before we open up the phone lines now, let me just bring you these other headlines small before we move on. And, of course, there is a particular headline I am trying to get. People that should be, okay, well, still the Daily Independent. Now, I hear why Senate set December 2025 deadline for a total ban on sachet alcohol. I saw this ban, this particular headline. I was like, have they come again? Okay, Nde Agbo. Everybody that is selling action bitters, Odogu bitters, Tombo bitters, and the rest of them. When I heard this one, they said in Lagos, a decisive move against rising alcohol abuse. The Nigerian Senate has ordered that by December 31st, 2025, all sachet and small bottle alcoholic drinks must be completely phased out. That is the latest thing that the Senate has said that is going to happen in Nigeria. So, those of you who do bagbori, that if you're upstairs, you must have one Chelsea dry gin in your pocket and one action bitters in your pocket. They say December 30th, after you chop Christmas, no New Year with small sachet. That's what they're saying. And this is what the poor people can afford. So when you take this away from them, is it the poor people that are being induced by alcohol or the rich people who take drugs? Because drugs is not for poor man.
Okay.
Even Porumiri is not for poor man. So how on earth is it sachet that is causing problem? Alcoholic misuse.
How many people in government, at least we hear people and they accuse themselves, people who drink Moet or whatever, you drink a wine that is costing about 500,000, you alone. Are we not hearing of politicians who are having hangover because of alcohol?
Yeah.
And the one, they waste state money. They buy, how can you buy one bottle of, according to P2B, how can you use 1 million naira or 500,000 and drink one bottle of?
Can you imagine? If I
so,
buy that one, no drink, I can go do decoration for my
so when you talk about
I'm going to drink one small every day
so
for the next 10 years.
There are so many other ways you can regulate the system, by not just by banning sachet or
Let's open up our phone lines now. The lines have been busy since morning. 0911 20,022 or 0707 454 1014. Those are the numbers to call and be part of the program. Hello, good morning. Who them a line?
Barry Cosmos, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes. I see what good to hear your voice again.
Good morning, senior citizen.
Yes, so good to hear your voice again.
Mazi, your voice is sounding today like you refreshed this morning. You're using one sexy voice to talk this morning. How can you do?
Nobody, I'm still lying down. So I decided when the day breaks.
You earned it. You earned it, sir.
I decide when it is 10 o'clock or when it is 11. I'm not out of bed now.
All right.
Maybe after 11, I'll get down.
Okay.
And, find something warm to drink.
That'll be smart.
Welcome again.
Thank you.
You know, we keep doing intellectual work here to look for solutions, and we never get them.
Abi?
Yes. The truth of the matter is, which is the lesser evil? A two-term government of 8 years or a single term of 5 years. More than 12 years ago, I had posited that a single term of 5 years, if the man is a rogue or a thief or a vagabond, whatever it is, that's a lesser evil. Because the election of 2023, 11 months after, the talk of second term started. We had not done 1 year. A year is 12 months. Go and check the record. 11 months after or before, the question of the next 4 years after the term they started, they just started 4. They had not completed. They had not gone halfway into 4 years, and they were talking of 8 years, second term. We need the lesser evil for now, and then that the lesser evil is 5 years, not 6 years. Because what this does, if you give a man 6 years to continue to do whatever, give him 5 years. Whatever he cannot do in 5 years, he cannot do. It is simple. Secondly, when you are talking of money, the weaponization of abject poverty, not poverty, the weaponization of abject poverty in Nigeria, you can't blame the man who has been looking for a job for so long, and he hasn't earned a kobo. The system doesn't allow him to earn money unless he goes to be carrying loads in the leaf market and economy. And he doesn't have the physical strength to carry those loads.
Yeah.
So, and now he has the chance of 20,000, 30,000. That's the first bulk amount he will pick up since the political party started the first term. That's the first bulk amount. That is fortune. And you are blaming him. But at least that day he can get drunk with sachet wine and sachet kai kai. He goes and gets drunk, and he remembers them for that. All I'm saying is this. Until you put the people in a position where they can earn a decent living, where decent day's work, the politicians will always have their way. And they know that once you wave their 30,000, the man falls in line to collect 30,000. And you can't stop it until you stop the system that produces it. Good morning, Steve Deveram, and good morning, Barry Cosmos.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
It must be better for Nigeria one day.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
Amen.
All right, that was the senior citizen. Yes, when we get the senior citizen, we'll allow him to say his piece. Yes. He earned it. So, when I know Vex say I give him enough time, he earned his own respect, and we need to give him time to air his views. It's not easy to be a senior citizen. All right, let's get this noise again before I go back to the phone line. This BBC don't go find Donald Trump problem. Well, Tim Davies and Director General of the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, and Deborah Tarnes, CEO of BBC News, have both resigned from their roles. What happened to them? They tendered their resignation after a news corporation came under fire for editing documentary involving U.S. President Donald Trump Well, last Monday, the Telegraph published an exclusive report that showed how the edited clip made Trump appear to encourage the 2021 Capitol Hill riot. You now see, that's exactly what we are saying. BBC will report something to make it tilt to one place. They say it's their own way of propaganda and working against Donald Trump. Now, another news agency has gone to bring the live script and brought exactly what happened. They show that BBC doctored it. It's called a doco edit. And the doco edit is like what I'm saying now. You are going to now edit what you like that is going to put me into trouble, and then publish that's what I said, and then people will not listen because BBC have a lot of listeners. Then that's what happens, and that caused a lot of riots in America and led to the impeachment and all those craziness that Donald Trump faced before his re-election. So right now that this thing has come out, now that they've been caught in the act, they have resigned. Can that ever happen in NTA?
It can never. That is it. That's the difference between democratic society, developed societies, and what we still have here. I don't know whether I don't know how to, the word I'll use now, and you say I'm being this thing against my country. So compare the two. Such a thing will never happen in Nigeria. The moment you are found wanting in the exercise of your professional, whatever you call it, you resign.
So how did they even do it? They took something Donald Trump said separately, 50 minutes apart, and joined them to look like one sentence.
You know what these international media do? Part of them are propaganda machine used, by...
Well, I used to know CNN for that, but I didn't know that BBC has joined them.
Okay, BBC, of course, now you know.
So
that's why you don't trust most, depending on where they are aligned to.
That's why we don't believe most of these videos that we see they float online.
Exactly.
And exactly when they were reporting things about the Gaza and the Israeli war, you see edit that will portray Israel in a bad light or portray Gaza in a bad light. And you now think that's the real thing. That is not journalism. That is completely fabrication and lies. You're telling a one-sided story which is completely wrong. And a lot of people want to hear that because it just romances their ego.
Exactly.
You understand? But when you tell the truth, they don't like it. I get example from the video I made concerning the Toronto killings and all that. A lot of if you go and read the comments, I just read them and I just laugh. I say, Kai, now that I've grown up, when I was young, this kind of thing, they make my head mad. But I've grown a little bit more experience, and I feel like, oh, this is because people want to hear what
they want
suits
to
them,
hear.
not the truth. And that is wrong. For a journalist to do that, that's completely wrong. For establishment like BBC, that's crazy. That's crazy. And of course, we thank God in Echo FM, we know if we try. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not going to try.
Good morning.
Good morning, Barry.
Yes, sir.
My brother, good morning, in the studio.
Good morning.
Emma Omedra. You see, what we are talking about, as you rightly said it, either single term of 5 years or 2 times of 8 years. And I know that some of the senators have stayed more than 3, 4, 5 tenures, and still they are agreeing to go in again. Achieving nothing in their senatorial zones. Yes. They are there for their stomachs. But I think the problem we have is because we respect and value money more than personality. That is the problem we have. Until the day we will turn it upside down to know that your personality matters first. Yeah. You project your personality before what you get. But in Nigeria, we don't consider how you make that word, but we consider the word. But it is you that will present yourself first of all before your word will come. And then another thing is the cost of the governance, because they saw it as a lucrative business. A man said, I don't know that there is money in politics when I was trading. No, but that thing is a very big problem. When we respect the position we are and know why we are there, it will not make us either first tenure, either one term or second term. You do something in order to project your name, even after your death. Your children will continue to inherit that name. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go to our message on Facebook. We have Dr. Mrs. Simao Lebara from Owerri. He says, I wonder why some people will seek black and call it white. How can any sane person say that there is no genocide in this country? They must be accomplices. Oh, boy. When it gets to them and their relations, they will understand we must all reap what we are sowing. On Nnamdi Kanu, any government that undermines the rule of law sets a dangerous precedent for impunity and lawlessness. The Supreme Court is the highest law of this country and foundation of our nationhood. Is Nigeria's now a banana republic? How can we disregard the laws we set for ourselves? Doing this undermines justice, weakness, and destroys the principle that holds it together. Thank you very much, ma. We have this other one, Happiness Okpeyemi. He says, good morning, sir. How was your night, sir? Thank you. Fine, fine, fine. Chief Ben Okwono from Awaka says, my great Barry, our electoral systems can only be sanitized if and only if Nigeria adopts a single term of 4, 5, or 6 years for elective positions. A situation whereby an incumbent legislator, governor, or president uses the incumbency factor to bulldoze his way into the second term is not only unacceptable, but a charade of democratic display. Soludo's re-election was not only predictable, but a fait accompli. Soludo's vote-buying strategy actually came home to roost. Thank you very much, Chief Ben. Real Life Everest. He says his mother, Leonard. Good morning, bro. One thing about Nigeria current situation is this. You don't have to say the truth if you are working under government, because INEC chairman is working under Nigerian government. He is not permitted to say the truth or say his opinion. God, I beg. I don't want to be recreated into this country in my next word. If I manage, go this one. Okay, man. Chineke, man. Moses Felix says, good morning, Barry. I am Felix from Umahi Mbieri. The truth is, there is Christian genocide in Nigeria, and they should leave the INEC chairman to do his work. Architect OPZ, he says that one Generalissimo International Barry Cosmos for the Islamic Council to be brazenly supporting the jihadists that commit evil in this country and dictating for the sacking of the INEC chairman has shown us that they are the owners of this country, handed over to them by the British. This arrogance and haughtiness is now suffocating everybody and making the country unbelievable and must stop. There is no free country anymore. Muslims' ticket is the cause of all this, and President and his administration should be held responsible. Ifeanyi Jim Koye from Obiakpo Egbema says, reacting to Anambra State election and vote buying that took place at some of the polling units, Charles Soludo made a statement before Anambra governorship election how he would give any polling unit that delivered his party 1 million naira, which I expected INEC chairman to react towards the statement, but he didn't do anything about it. I don't know how INEC will stop vote buying if they continue turning off their ears to such statement. INEC is a major problem we have in Nigeria, and nobody should blame Peter Obi for not delivering his polling unit because he is against vote buying and he cannot sell his conscience and buy vote just to deliver his unit. Lastly, people should stop selling their votes for peanuts that can make them suffer for a good 4 years and even more for decades. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning, Sabari.
I greet you.
Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, happy new week. Welcome aboard. Name and submission.
My name is Umar. I'm calling from Nazareth.
All right, gotta go.
Yeah. The Muslim religion group, they are calling for the sack of the INEC chairman. Just because he said what happened in the country. Barry.
Sir?
Is this not the indication that we have seen the sponsors of the insurgency in our country? Do we have any other evidence? That is to say that there are people that the ones that own the country. What they say is what happens. Imagine calling for the sack of somebody that said the truth. the one they said in 2014 was not the truth, right?
Yeah.
So they are now trying to tell us that they can say anything and get away with it.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. No time. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Barry, good morning. This morning.
Good morning to you.
Emeka from World Bank.
All right.
Barry, what they said under the first call of the first quarter, somebody speaking. It was even fair to say 7 months or 8 months after election, they started talking of 20 years. It was a military announcement of the president. The 2 weeks, they started telling about 2027, which is the way we find ourselves.
Yeah.
But do you know that there was a protest in the north, Muslim protest against Trump's decision? I don't know whether are you aware of that? The Muslims were protesting, calling Trump all sorts of names. Same Muslims here are telling you that INEC chairman should be removed. So, I want to call it Trump. My brother.
Okay.
You know, Christians protesting against Trump.
All right.
If they are people are laying against Muslim in this country is not true, why not Christians protest against Trump? Why is it Muslims that protest against Trump? Brother in the studio.
Thank you.
You talk of the press and the media houses what they do today. My brother in the studio, there's one TV station you would not like to watch. If you want to hear free and fair broadcast or announcement or whatever, there is a particular TV station. If you listen to that TV station, you can break a TV history because of what you're hearing from that particular. But I always listen to that station. For me to know the biasness of that TV station in support of the government of the state.
All right, thank you.
Most of the media houses are taking sides in their reportage. It is not very okay. You see people, you tell people you want your master to hear.
All right, thank you.
That is not journalist, a professional of handling the journalism.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Professional day where you do your job freely. Never where they do your job, they go beat Chris Buffett. But who am I them beat him? Who want to judge Jero? Okay. All right, anyway. This one says, Barry, good morning, sir. My name is Opera Hippolytus. What a name. Hippolytus. Okay. It's a Hippolytus Eberechi, a.k.a. Olumentain, from Idiato Sat. Steve, your brother. Keep on your good work. God bless you. We also have Chukwuemeka John says, good morning, Mr. Barry. Cosmos for the Sharia court and Islamic society to be asking for the INEC boss to be sacked for speaking in support of Christian genocide, which are facts shows they are the ones sponsoring this killing. I believe Donald Trump has all the identity. Silas Jesse says, Chief Barry, good morning. May Almighty God bless you for your good work. Thank you very much. John Chukwuemeka, all right. Thank you all for joining us here. We will take a message from YouTube, and then we'll come back to take one more call before we call it a wrap on the papers. This one says, Cosmos, congratulations to Mr. Solution, who will soon put into APC. It is just a matter of time who benefits from the death of another human being's. Elder Chijoke is on YouTube this morning. Thank you very much, Elder Chijoke, for sending in your message. I think let's just take one more call for the newspaper review. Then we'll go on a short break to come back for the news update. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, this is Awuja calling from Nekede.
Awuja, Karigo.
Yeah, I greet all of you there.
Thank you.
Your question whether somebody can be relieved of his position because he said his opinion. Yes, it's highly possible in Nigeria.
Yeah.
That is where it will happen, honestly. Because where nearly every person worships the politicians, then and because of the peanuts they get from them, what do you expect that kind of thing? Okay. Where nearly Nigerians are liars. And you know that a liar is a thief is a liar. Unless you support them, you won't get what they want.
Sure.
Then That is exactly the thing. When for this terms of governance, 5 years, one tenure is okay.
All right.
Then so that it can go around. You are interested, I'm interested. So that we go around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's going to be our last caller for the newspaper review. We're going to take a short break now. When we come back, the news update will be next. Then the conversation continues. We are taking a look at the call by the Sharia administration, their court, and of course the Islamic Society calling for the sack of Amopitan because of his legal brief on Christian genocide in Nigeria, tagging it a no-no. Stay with us.
Echo FM.
Please listen to these important announcements. Deliver projects. Want to grow your money? Enjoy attractive quarterly return on our investment package with interest paid upfront or at maturity. It's your choice. Need help with travel or visa application? Our service provides fast, reliable financial backing. We're available in Lagos and Owerri. Visit www.coolfinancials.org or call 0703-247-8605 or follow us at Instagram at Cool Financials or Facebook Cool Financial Service Limited. Cool Financial Service Limited. Let's create wealth with you. Terms and conditions apply.
Echo FM.
Echo FM 100.7, the fresh news people.
This week to help those in need.
If you know that it's God Almighty that created you and created we Nigerians like you need to do good things for us because the masses are suffering. How you can suspend me here? Are we the slaves?
And I'm going to win this election. That is the truth.
Stay informed with Echo FM 100.7. Join us for exclusive interviews with experts, breaking updates on local and global events, and in-depth coverage of issues impacting our community. Tune in every weekday at 6:30 a.m., 12 noon, 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. for our major news bulletin in English, Igbo, and Pidgin language. For more inquiries, you can reach us through our email, echofm@thekingmail.com. You can follow us on our social media handles at Echo FM. Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. We are the Fresh News People.
Catch up with the latest news updates on Echo 100.7 FM Owerri.
According to a statement, 7 terrorists were neutralized, 27 suspects arrested, and several arms, ammunition, and stolen crude oil products recovered during coordinated strikes across different regions. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Y.D. Shaubu, who ordered the operations, reaffirmed the military's determination to completely dismantle all networks of criminality. He assured Nigerians that the renewed offensive marks a decisive phase in restoring lasting peace and stability across affected communities, as troops continue to take the fight to the enemy's strongholds. The National Emergency Management Agency has reported that a total of 433,578 people have been affected by flooding across 27 states and 123 local government areas as of November 4th, 2025. The agency revealed that 241 persons have died, 839 injured, and 144,790 displaced, while over 52,000 houses and 74,767 hectares of farmland were destroyed nationwide. NEMA identified key challenges in post-flood interventions, including shortage of resources, poor accessibility, insecurity, and coordination lapses. It stressed that food, shelter, water, healthcare, and livelihood support remain the most urgent needs of victims, while urging both government and humanitarian partners to scale up response efforts to avert further humanitarian crisis. A man identified as Endurance Udeke has died while allegedly attempting to evade arrest during a sting operation by operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Lagos. The EFCC said the operation targeted at suspected internet fraudsters within an upscale estate also led to the arrest of 4 other suspects. According to the commission, Udeke and another occupant attempted to flee upon learning of the presence of his officers. EFCC clarified that there was no physical contact with the deceased before the incident occurred and described his action as unfortunate and avoidable. The agency urged residents to remain calm and law-abiding during its operations, assuring that those who know wrongdoing have nothing to fear. In business, the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association has backed the federal government's decision to impose a 15% import tariff on petrol and diesel, describing it as a policy that will stabilize the naira and encourage local refining. NECA's Director General, Mr. Adewale Smart Oyerinde, said the measure will stimulate investment, promote domestic production, and enhance the country's industrialization drive. He, however, cautioned that the government must ensure proper policy coordination to prevent unintended inflationary effects or market distortions. Oyerinde also advised that the naira for crude exchange arrangement be effectively managed to guarantee a steady supply of crude oil to domestic refineries, thereby strengthening the downstream sector and conserving foreign reserves. On the foreign scene, the United Nations University on E-Governance has reaffirmed its commitment to promoting digital transformation across Africa through the International Conference on Theory and Practice of Electronic Governance, known as ICEGOV. Director of the Institute, Mrs. Delfina Soares, said the conference remains a key platform for global reflection on e-governance, digital policy innovation, and knowledge exchange. She explained that Nigeria's consistent participation since 2018 demonstrates the country's increasing prioritization of technology-driven governance. Suarez added that continued international collaboration will help African nations, including Nigeria, strengthen institutional capacity, improve citizen engagement, and align their digital transformation agendas with global best practices. world of sports, Robert Lewandowski scored a stunning hat-trick as Barcelona defeated Celta Vigo 4-2 in La Liga, reducing Real Madrid's lead at the top to 3 points. The veteran Polish striker combined effectively with Marcus Rashford, who provided 2 assists, while teenager Lamine Yamal added a 4th goal in a thrilling contest. Lewandowski sealed his treble with a powerful header from a Rashford corner in the 73rd minute, marking his 7th league goal of the season. The win reflects Barcelona's renewed attacking strength under coach Hansi Flick as the Catalan Giants continue their chase for the La Liga title. And that's all for the news update at 10, edited by Benjamin Joseph. For more information and inquiries, visit our social media platforms on Facebook at Echo FM, X at Echo FM_Owerri, Instagram at Echo FM 100.7, YouTube at Echo FM 100.7. You can listen to us anywhere in the world by clicking on www.echofm.net. I am Best Beauty going far. Thank you for listening. Good morning.
Echo FM.
Echo FM 100.7, the fresh news people.
Every day,
Every hour,
every minute,
and every second.
breaking news occur
From our villages,
in our cities,
new government policies,
the economy,
politics,
social news,
entertainment news.
security concerns.
We, the people, converge.
To analyze
Separating facts from fiction.
lies and truth.
We dissect.
We integrate.
We harmonize.
We criticize.
And we bring you all the juicy details.
Live on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. It is Straight Talk.
Straight talk.
Straight Talk on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri.
Shall I begin? I am your host. I am your anchorman. I am the presiding bishop of this ministry, and I am awesome. My name is Barry Cosmos, the Radio Marshal, the Buruburu One on radio, the Okenze on radio, your big brother on radio. I am the main event, and I am here.
Live on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri.
Are you ready?
Live from the Eastern Heartland, Echo FM 100.7 brings you engaging conversation on trending news.
We need the federal government to sort whatever issue they are having with ASU.
And by December this year, 4,000 MOUs will be employed in Europe.
It's explosive.
Well, first of all, we must understand that war in itself is a display of anarchy. When you talk about war, that is lawlessness at its peak. When you say you are fighting war to keep Nigeria one, no. You fought the war as a manifestation of your incompetence in the management of the crisis that was then part of Nigerian history.
Hilarious.
I get malaria, my cancer. Behind every successful man, there's a woman at the front. Without you, stop shaking your head. You stop shaking your head. You're one of those who are causing problems. On action, I don't want to somebody.
And daring.
Mr. President, God will ask all of us, but you will be in the front. I will say, I've told the Senate President.
Our nation remains one of the most insecure and least peaceful in the world today, making Nigeria one of the hungriest countries of the world. Nigerians now spend nearly their entire income on feeding.
We may be hungry, but we can manage our hunger.
My appeal is that you dedicate 20% of 2025, roughly 72 days, to visit each of the 36 states.
Catch the drama, feel the excitement on Straight Talk on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri with the Radio Marshal, Barry Cosmos. Every weekday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join the conversation on Straight Talk with Barry Cosmos. Straight Talk. Get straight analysis. No bending corners.
Let's be poor. Breathe.
This is Ofekata Orodo community. Cuddle in nature's embrace. From the sky, its beauty stretches wide. Serene landscape, lush greenery, and a windy path that whispers stories of old. Ofekata Orodo is not just a place on the map. It is a heartbeat, a heritage, a people proud of their land. And today, it opens its arm to a contest that stirs excitement, mystery, and the promise of discovery, the Ojezurobodo search. As the Echo FM theme arrive, the elders of Ofekata Orodo receive them with warmth and joy. With hearty smile and open arms, they share stories of their rich cultural heritage, woven with resilience, unity, and pride. The atmosphere is filled with excitement, for their beloved community has been chosen for this month's contests. The search process, guided by the moderator, sets the tone, clearly explaining how the search will unfold. And with no time wasted, the participants leap into the fray. The search has begun. Where could it
to be taking a look at this issue of the Muslim faithfuls asking the president to sack Amopi Town, the INEC boss, who they claim wrote a memo or what is called the legal brief titled Christian Genocide in Nigeria, the implications to the rest of the world. That's exactly what they are using now as him being in a position where he's supposed to be unbiased, impartial. They say he cannot handle that position based on his views that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. Let's go back in time and take a look at exactly what transpired at that time. According to the legal brief allegation of this, the federal government has remained silent on a 2020 legal brief reportedly written by the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amopitan, in which he described the Boko Haram insurgency and attacks by Fulani herdsmen as part of a coordinated and Christian campaign that warranted international intervention. He said it was a coordinated anti-Christian campaign that warranted international intervention. Calls and messages to the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, seeking the government's comments on Amopitan legal brief were not responded to as of press time. This is coming from the report that we are getting. All right, so genocide claim FJ is still silent, and Professor Amopitan wrote this in 2020, knowing he was going to become the INEC boss. Well, according to Inter-Society Chairman Emeka Balasi, the organization's findings were drawn from a range of credible reports, including legal brief authored by Professor Joash Amopitan. Amopitan was recently appointed the chairman. Of course, the U.S. president cited that what he described as ongoing violence against Christians, failure of government to protect religious minorities and all that. So Donald Trump has designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, further threatening military action against Nigeria. And with all this happening now, the discussion has shifted from the genocide to pitching Christians against Muslims, and that has become a tribal religious war that has kept Nigeria where it is up to today. So today, we take a look at this holistically. We have our political analyst, Steve Ozomana, still with us. Steve, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
So in this manner now, what's your take on this issue by the Islamic Sharia Council demanding for the sack of Amopitan as INEC boss based on what he said in 2020?
Well, I think that is a problem we have found ourselves as Nigerians. Now you are calling for Amopitan's sack because of the legal briefing released in 2020, am I right?
Yeah.
2020. And then the Islamic Council, instead of facing the reality now, You know, just like you said, they are trying to change the narrative, trying to pitch Christians against Muslims. The issue at stake now is not Christians against Muslims. We are talking about terrorists who have invaded Nigeria and terrorizing Nigerians. Whether they are Muslims or Christians, they are Nigerians. So Amopita made a brief in 2020 based on his own understanding, and I don't think he has recanted that, based on his understanding of what is going on in Nigeria. We have also seen, I think, some comments made by some of the stalwarts in APC, including those who are in power now, made in 2014. So if Amupitan, if these people are calling for the sack of Amupitan because of the legal brief he made in 2020, there are also the ones that are made in 2014.
Yeah.
Which has been credited to the sitting president. I don't think he has refuted it.
So no, there are videos to that effect.
So they also describe the situation in Nigeria as genocide against Christians. And I think that was one of the bargaining chips they used with their meeting with the former U.S. president, you know, calling for attention in Nigeria. So what has changed between 2014 and now that you are now shouting is not genocide? When principal actors, those who actually reported the genocide, are the people it's the same APC government. So if you are calling for the sack of Amopitan, you also call for the sack of some other, you know, APC leaders, those who are occupying power now, who have made actually the same statement in 2014. So when you talk about Christian genocide, it's not something that the government, people in government now are the people who told us initially that this is genocide against Christians in Nigeria. So, and they made the international community to also have the knowledge and believe that it is a genocide. So why are you changing the narrative? And then there is another problem to it.
Okay.
Supreme military, whatever you call them, what do you call them, Sharia council or whatever, now trying to dictate to government to sack somebody, Amupitan. What does it tell you? Recently, we saw a video and some comments going on about the secret dealings about the sack of the former chief of army staff, Christopher Musa.
Okay.
We have also seen...
Because they say he's a Christian?
Because he says he's a Christian and because he gave order to, you know, destroy the Boko Haram. And then probably he was, the government was pressured to change him, to remove him. That is what we have seen now. And I don't think it's up to government or any other person to come and say, no, this is not what happened. Okay. But the video is there in a public space that they removed Christopher Musa because he is a Christian and because he wanted to end Boko Haram in Nigeria. So what is the interest? So anybody that does not favor you know, the terrorism that is going on in Nigeria, then you ask for his sack and he'll be removed. That means you people are the owners of the government, the owners of Nigeria, as you have claimed. Okay. And that means government, like US would say, I think sometimes silence is actually...
It's acceptance.
Actually, so if government is keeping quiet over this kind of comments, keeping quiet over people who should be called for action and ask questions, and you keep... That means you are in support of what is happening.
All right, for those of us who are not aware of what Professor Mopitan wrote in 2020, he says the legal brief titled Legal Brief Genocide in Nigeria, the implication for the international community. I'm just going to take an excerpt from there. It says Professor Joacha Ojo Amopitan urged that mass killings in Nigeria by Boko Haram and Fulani headsmen constituted crimes against humanity, war crimes, and potential genocide against Christians and minority ethnic groups. A Mopitan brief claimed the Nigerian government avoided the term genocide to evade international accountability and called for UN intervention. So that is exactly what he said. This is according to Sahara reporters. That's where I'm getting that from. But at the end of the day, the Nigerian government, true to what Amopitan said, they completely avoid using the term genocide in this whole issue. They rather say both Christians and Muslims are being killed. The systematic killing, and of course, according to some experts are saying, when they say genocide in Nigeria, they will not go and kill one mosque or kill two people just to show that they are killing both North and South. But the bigger proportion is that are attacking Christian-dominated areas. So, well, that's that for that. Let's go back. Part of that brief also compared what is happening now and the Uthman Danfodio land grabbing and expansion jihad. And they're also calling it jihad now. So are we in a jihad era again all of a sudden of expansion of Islamic territorial grabs or advancing Islam just like Uthman Dan Fodio and the rest of them did when they came into Nigeria?
That is exactly what we are witnessing. I think, yes, let us tell ourselves the truth. If you go through history, the so-called Islamic Jihad led by Usman Dan Fodio in the 18th century, what is it all about? Enthroning what he believed as a true Islamic practice. So he conquered the Hausas to enthrone what he believed as at then. And the entire north was almost conquered. And then he enthroned his rule. That's why you have emirs in the north now in control and every other thing. And the essence of that particular enthronement is to have a full Islamic practice in the north to make sure that north becomes Islamic state, practicing Sharia. Okay, have you asked yourself, why is Borno now the headquarters of Boko Haram? Barry. Has people gone through history to find out why is Borno the headquarters of Boko Haram? And why do we still have the traditional ruler of Borno instead of answering Emir, he's answering Shehu of Borno? If you go through history, you discover that along that line, Borno remains the only kingdom that Usman Dan Fodio and his jihadists were not able to conquer. I don't know whether I'm making sense here. So when you're talking about expansion, when you're talking about conquest, that is exactly what is going on. So Borno must be conquered completely because Shehu or Borno resisted up to today. He's still bearing the title Shehu Borno. That is the only place where you don't see emir, though they may have small emirs, but the political, the men, in fact, he's maintaining religious head and also the political head, you know, in the traditional head.
So when the caliphate was established by Dan Fodio in Sokoto State, and then Shehu of Borno resisted that particular movement, and they were traditionally the Hausas, not the Fulanese.
Exactly.
Now, in recent time, we're hearing that the term Hausa Fulani is like beginning to disintegrate. We're seeing Fulani, the Fulbe tribe, getting their own identity, and the Hausas' identity kind of is getting buried in this whole. What do you make of that?
Of course, they are now trying to separate that. You know, it was a kind of a strategy.
Okay.
The Fulanis used to enter into the Hausa communities, and that was the strategy that helped them to conquer the Hausas and then take over. So you hear Hausa, Fulani, we are one. And you know they are united by religion, Islam. So for them, even so part of the Hausas then believed that Uthman Dan Fodio was preaching pure Islamic. Do you understand me? Some of them supported him. And that was why it was easy for him to conquer and then take over. But over time now, we are seeing what is playing out. So when you talk about expansion, that is exactly what is going on. Now you talk about the Middle Belt. You also remember that during that conquest, when they came after conquering Sokoto and all the rest of the what we have now, northwest countries, they came down to the Middle Belt. It was difficult for them because of the resistance from other powerful kings like either the Atta of Igala and all that kind of stuff. You know, they resisted them, so they were not able to conquer the Middle Belt to have their access to the east. They were stopped at the Middle Belt. That is why you have, you know, confluence of Christians around that area. If you talk about Middle Belt, that is why you have Christians in the north. So they were not able to conquer. And what is happening in the Middle Belt is a continuation of that conquest.
So you feel now that it's more or less continuation to grab that land and turn it to Islam territory.
Simple.
That's what is happening.
That is it.
Oh boy. That's a serious matter. And of course, a lot of people would also think in that direction because the targeted areas are like concentrated in the Middle Belt of Benue, of Plateau, of Kogi State and Niger State, all in the Middle Belt area. You understand? And then that's where they're concentrating the attacks these days. Even Nasarawa State, all parts of the Middle Belt area. Now, Abuja as well.
Of course.
So we see this systemic killing, and in the midst of this, the government keep avoiding the word genocide. Anybody who uses the word genocide, it's like you've committed a crime. Now, we have Christians even the revered Bishop Kuka is having a U-turn on the claim of genocide against Christians. What do you make of that?
I think, Bishop Kuka has always been involved in government.
Okay.
Not that he's part of the government, but he's a very prominent figure in terms of promoting. So I think he's only trying to be patriotic, trying to save his country. That is it. But the obvious thing is that there is genocide going on. It depends on how you interpret it. So systematic elimination of a particular group is genocide. And like I said, people in government are the people who first sounded the alarm that this is Christian genocide going on. Okay, if you are talking about giving it another nomenclature, you still remember the Madala bombing of 2011. In a Christmas day, where a Christian church was actually bombed by this particular terrorist, more than 40 people died. The same thing happened in 2022 in Owo, Catholic Church in Owo. More than 40 also, up to 80 people, but depending on what the accurate figure, died in that particular. So for a particular group coming into a Christian church to bomb in a very good day like Christmas Day, what do you think is their mission? So it is the same thing, no matter how you're trying to interpret it. So Bishop Kuka, for me, it's not as if he doesn't know the truth, but I think he's only trying to become patriotic, to say America should not invade Nigeria. Is not this, we can manage our... No. It is not true. Let us face the fact that Christians are gradually being eliminated. The other people and other people that are facing existential threat are even the Hausas, those who do not believe in this so-called ideology of Ottoman and Fodio. But I don't know whether you get me.
Yeah, I get you.
If you don't believe in that particular
ideology,
even as a Muslim, those are the people that also have been killed. So
it's not like they're killing the real Muslim.
No, they're not.
Is that why they are enjoying support from a lot of people? Because right now it looks like we have celebrity bandits, as they're calling them. They take pictures, they make videos. Even state governors are now traveling to snap pictures with them in the north. And they have soldiers. They even warn soldiers. They even warn governors, this area is our territory, don't come there. If you come there, anything you will see. So anytime they get hungry, they come and attack.
And they respect that territory. In a state, just take Imo State, for example, now. And then you are telling me that one terrorist group, I don't want to mention any name, has taken over maybe Idato South. And government is here in Owerri, ruling, and you left Idato South for them. And then you tell me that nothing is happening. And I don't know whether you're getting me. So part of your territory, even when Nigeria is talking about sovereignty, sovereignty is even the capability of protecting your territory.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about American invasion and you are resisting American invasion, they are coming to do this. We're already invaded by terrorists in our own country, which the government is confessing that these people came from Mali, Somalia, what do you call it? Gaddafi's country. What do you call it? What's it again? Libya. Gaddafi. They are the people that told us that these are foreigners who came in from these countries to invade our country. So we are already invaded.
All right.
So if America is coming to save us now, why don't government liaise with them and then reach out a compromise on how to fight terrorism in Nigeria?
All right, thank you very much. Let's go to our phone lines now. Open up the phone lines for us to have a broader conversation. If you want to be part of this conversation, Amopitan has been asked to be sacked by the Muslim scholars and all that. The Sharia, Grand Sharia Islamic leaders, they are saying sack him because of his claim on a genocide for Christians in Nigeria. And they said its implication to the world. What's your take? Good morning.
Good morning, Barry.
Good morning. Is that a way? Good morning.
Barry.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I've missed you a lot.
Maybe Smartin. How, buddy?
Steve. Steve.
Care.
Barry.
Oh.
In the Bible, though I'm not a good Bible scholar like that,
okay.
A portion was said, this was done so that thoughts out of many will be revealed. Now, this Trump's advance. I mean, the other day said, my husband taught me that in the war or so, that they have that term, advance to be recognized.
Yeah.
This Trump's advance for us to be recognized has exposed so many things. Ndị Igbo na-atụ ilu si ikuku na-eku ka fada ka amara na fada yi trouser. Let the wind blow so that we know that the father is wearing trouser. You know, this thing that this says the Islamic Sharia waiting has said now, they are all aftermath of what Trump has proposed for this country. I beg. Is Trump giving up or what? I beg. On him not.
Madam Carita says Trump giving up. Well, that information is that, you know, that American government was shut down by the Democrats. They just voted 60-40 to reopen American government. So right now, the government will now be functional. And America is not a state where you do anything and anyhow without the approval of Congress. And until they get that, they are still looking at options. Recall that Donald Trump gave time frame for Nigerian government to act, or they will act. So they didn't just say they're going to wake up one morning and start coming. They've given them to act. So we are expecting that the president and other military should do something to stop the killing of Christians.
That is where I am angry about the way we follow these things. They gave you time, do something, or we do something. So why don't you focus on trying to, you know, make sure that these terrorists are rooted away? Because Americans won't be coming if we're able to protect our citizens.
Definitely.
They won't be coming.
Definitely. Good morning.
Good morning, Sabari.
Welcome aboard.
Sir Steve, good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
Samuel, I called back from Nigeria.
All right.
Bye, you.
Ew. Caritas don't show now, and I don't remember.
Yes, it's our mommy now. We'll follow our footsteps.
All right.
Yes. Sabari, you see, you enter in a place where there is quarrel in a family. You are trying to settle the dispute. And they told you that the information you had was that one person died in that family. As you are coming now, immediately enter the family to talk to them on how to handle the situation. Somebody says, no one, there's another person from another family that died because of that incident. What will you do? But we are talking about human beings dying. People are being killed. Imagine where 200 and something people died as a result of this case now. The sitting president went to that state. He could not visit that community. He could not visit the community. They still sent more children outside under the rent to salute the president. And he gave a marching order since then. Since then, we have not had anybody arrested from there. They are still killing people up to today.
All right. Thank you, my brother.
My brother, this thing.
Thank you.
Trump, if Trump will come to jail tomorrow, let him come so that this thing will be settled once and for all.
No, we don't hear you.
We want it to be handled by the grace of God. Thank you.
Okay. Well, just to correct the notion, people keep saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC asked the U.S. to arrest President Goodluck Jonathan in 2014. That's not true. They didn't ask them to arrest, but they actually, the APC and Tinubu as opposition leaders as at that time were highly critical of Jonathan's administration, particularly regarding his handling of insecurity and the Boko Haram insurgency when it just started. They reportedly submitted a petition on report to the White House and other American officials highlighting the mass killings of Christians and general insecurity in Nigeria, implicitly calling for international intervention and implicitly accusing the government of incompetence or inaction. That is what the APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu asked for. Now, let's see. Let me try and break this down for us. Steve, just hold on. The key points that of that criticism include, let me take them one apart, where his accusation of the Jonathan's administration was downplaying or lying about severity of the security situation. They were either downplaying or lying against it, and now What is happening? Are they downplaying or lying against this particular security situation to the international community? As at that time, technology was not even this advanced. But right now, everybody can even see when you are sleeping in your bedroom with infrared drones and, of course, the satellite that they can see everything that is happening even when you're betting. So, at the end of the day, the second point is that they call for Jonathan to resign over his perceived failure to protect the lives of Nigerians and contain the insurgency. That is what they said in 2014. And thirdly, they claimed that the government was not doing enough to secure the release of the Chibok girls and stop the violence. That is what they were saying, which they sometimes framed as Christian genocide. That is what the whole of this. I just needed you to understand where this whole conversation started all about Christian genocide. They were the ones that started it.
Okay.
Then now they want to push it to IPOB. Say IPOB is the one that started Christian genocide, but they actually started it in 2014. So we just needed to bring out this one. So why now do you turn around to deny the same thing you said was existing? Is it that what was happening then is different from what is happening now?
Exactly. That is exactly what I told you, that these people are actually the people who reported Nigeria to United States of America and other countries of the world. Look at it. Look at what you have read out. So you are the APC government we have now, and the opposition political parties, they are the APC in government now.
Of course.
They are actually the people who reported Nigeria. I'm not talking about Goodluck Jonathan now. Reported Nigeria to US. They are the actual people who said that there is Christian genocide going on in Nigeria. People need to understand this.
All right.
Why is the government officials not actually making comment over this? They kept quiet. All of them keep silent.
Let's take more calls. Hello, good morning. Uh-oh, we lost that one. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, my name is Yokezon. I'm calling from Uguta, Imo State.
All right.
Please, Trump should not give us condition. Let Trump come to Nigeria and reorganize and sanitize this country. Even if it means Trump taking over.
Bros, I don't support you for that one. I don't support you at all.
No.
Bros, I beg they go. I beg. What do you mean by recolonize?
Do you know people are misunderstanding something about American invasion?
Yeah.
You know, is this even a United Nations convention that empowered U.S.
to
fight terrorism anywhere in the world?
As a doctrine of necessity.
Do you understand? So what they are doing is something that came out of United Nations convention. So Trump is not coming to take over Nigeria.
Of course.
They are anywhere they see terrorism, because terrorism or this terrorist group are threats to American interests anywhere in the world.
Well, I've tried so much to explain to people what Trump said. It does not say he's coming to invade Nigeria. He said he's coming to wipe out the terrorists. Because with the security architecture actually know where these terrorists are.
They know.
Donald Trump and the United States, they know where they are. They know their routes.
How to pick them.
They can tell you where they're going. After all, when they kidnap American citizens, they came here just
to pick the cities and
left. And then, so not because the Nigerian government don't know.
They know.
But we know that there are a lot of either political will to deal decisively with this, or it's just because they need them somehow to control.
As far as Africa is concerned, Nigerian military still remains a formidable force. They have the intelligence to understand what is happening. So I don't think they are just ordinary military. They know.
All right, let's take this one from Julie Stainless. It says, good morning, my eloquent and majestic Barry and studio guests. From all indication, Nigeria can be unfortunately described as a country where political crimes and evils are condoned and freely forgiven, as the APC say. Here, our politicians who glaringly stole and still steal our money in trillions are not prosecuted and punished, as it is done in most responsible, reasonable, and right-thinking countries, where such offenders are given a flat capital punishment. This, of course, sensitizes the system and make them to no nonsense countries. Tony, if nothing happened to Chief Oluomo and his likes during the 2023 presidential election in Lagos. What can happen to vote bias? All right, that's the gospel according to our one and only Julie Stainless, Lady Julie Nasike. He also said presidential election, what can happen to vote buyers and sellers in gubernatorial and local government election? Indeed, our country is nothing but a scam. We are very, very far away from getting it right. As for Soludo and his victory, no congratulations for him because he's on his way to embrace his beloved friend, which is APC president. Thank you very much, Lady Julie Nasike, for sending in that one there. Akpara Nice says, very good morning, sir. My name is Akpara Nice. Okay, I think I've taken that one before. All right. We also have Frank William, Comrade Chinedu Omezri from our mama. He said, Barry, my man, Barry, you see, if Tinubu refused to hear from Trump, you see he knows everything about killings of Christians. Tinubu cannot see this as corruption, which he loves most. Tinubu, whether he likes it or not, Trump must come, and FG releasing Nnamdi Kanu. They are nothing from him. Nigerian, please talk much about this. All right, thank you very much. Nnamdi Kanu's case has been slated for 20th for judgment. He has refused to enter his defense. According to the Nigerian court, Justice Omotosho will give a ruling. Since he has refused to enter in a defense, or he entered a defense by saying he has no case, a lot of people say the defense has already been entered when he came in and started the proceeding by asking he has no case, he should be released and acquitted from all charges. Because the law for which they are trying to try him has been repealed. You cannot try him on a repealed law. That is what Nnamdi Kanu has been saying. So is that a defense, or is that he didn't open his defense? Let me ask you just briefly. Sorry, we're debating a little. I just want to answer that question.
I think he also submitted some documents lately.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of the defense.
Okay.
But I don't think, I am just watching because I don't think Nnamdi Kanu is not acting based on advice of his legal team, even though people see them now as consultants. So he is not acting outside that. There may be
are they the ones that asked him to do what he's doing?
I believe that Nnamdi Kanu has information which we do not have.
Okay.
And for him to have taken that position, he must have taken it for the best of himself.
Even when the court threatened
him
that he will forfeit
let's just wait.
His defense.
Let's just wait. So he might be acting for his own interest. Actually, you know, there have been accusations, even the ones that were revealed by Sowore, that Nigerian government look at what they want to do. They are going to sentence him and then give him, clemency, give him pardon. So he may have had some information that whether I enter defense or I do not enter defense, these people will still do what. So what's the need? Let them go ahead and do the sentence.
Okay, so, well, that's that for that particular one. Let's take our WhatsApp and see some other messages that came in. Okay. Comrade Abechidi Onyenyeri, his message is here, usually very long. Okay, it says, did I hear that Peabody is demanding to borrow yet another US 1.1 trillion is not a welcome development? I know about this story. I didn't take it because something we need to take in a big deal. All right, thank you very much, comrade. This one says, beautiful morning. My eloquent and majestic Barry. It says, Senator Lynn Dume. No, that message is not for today. Oh. Let's get that one for today. I think, okay, I've read this one in the Facebook. Let's continue. Some of you send message to Facebook system for WhatsApp. Comrade Umpadek Chidozen was texting from Omakane, Ohaji, the most peaceful community in Imo State. He says, good morning, Echo FM. Please, on what basis is Islamic society calling for the sack of INEC boss? Why does a particular ethnic group think that this country belongs to them? Let them be informed that nobody has the capacity to Islamize Nigeria. It can never work. All right, we also have this morning. This one says, good morning, Barry, the Radio Mashade, Buruburu One, and Prince Chiedoze on woman, acting from aware. Barry, the truth is that most problem in Nigeria is coming from those northern Muslims, the tribe of Usman Danfodio, who sees killing innocent Christians as walking Prophet Muhammad. Barry, anybody denying that there is no genocide in Nigeria is complicit. Barry, these people know what they are doing. They are playing politics with the lives of innocent Nigerians. It's unfortunate that even those so-called leaders in government are suspect. Barry, I rest my case. It's only in God we trust. And Prince Chiedoze Onwumere. Okay, thank you very much. This other one says, Sabari, I am Mma from Owerri West. Please, Biko, can you send me... Okay. All right, thank you. I will do that later on. This other one says, good morning, sir. Justice Okora for Umuna Karamerewe. The federal government should eliminate all the terrorists and their sponsors. President should do the needful without fear or favor of any sympathizers of terrorism. All right. Abuja from Nekede, I think I took your call. Solomon Kalu from Old Road Nekede. Before the election, Soludo denied the Christian genocide, stating that Christians were actually the ones killing Christians in the southeast. So the solution. All right. Soludo solution. Is that your solution? This one says, good morning, my people. I'm Ambassador Anya Lebechi from Umogolo in Ehimambana Road from Afomba. Connect to Mbise. You just send us direction, who your house be, without any message. What a funny thing. That. All right, this one says, Ngokpala people have been left out for a very long time. Road leading from Olako to Orishaeze. Olako to Umekune. Olako to Umuneke. And Umuneke to Orishaeze. Like that. To be looked into. In fact, most terrible road is at Ngokpala from Toby Ike Orishaeze. Thank you, Toby. That one is a talk for another day. This one says, good morning, the love. Oh, God. I stop saying love later. I don't need them. Betterlicious morning to you, my golden voice in the studio, just to encourage you to keep up the good work. Kachineke Mezioku. That is from Anufro Yunam Chibukamo Gamopo. This one says, Barry, keep up. Barry, my big brother, keep up the good work. I love your program from Izubest. Thank you very much. Dr. Sinazi says, please. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Dr. Sinazi from Ogboshisi. He said, so the U.S. already approved $346 million for arms early this year for combating terrorist activities in Nigeria. They must have been dishing out support all along, but no visible results in Nigeria. Do you see why Trump has the legitimacy wanting to intervene? Asodok should be bothered as we speak. 2014, this same government protested that against Christian genocide in 2014. The Jonathan government is now saying otherwise. It's very unfortunate, very dark, disheartening, and very dark man, and highly regrettable. Thank you very much, Dr. Sinazi. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Barry.
I greet you.
My name is Caleb. I'm calling for World Bank.
All right.
Okay, quickly, I don't know why you are surprised with what's happening. See, let me tell you. When Isaac was born, everybody was rejoicing, but Ishmael was comfortable. Ishmael gave back to 12 sons, and the 12 Arab nations troubling the whole world, including Nigeria. If you are surprised that Nigeria is an Islamic country, I'm telling you, you are just waking up.
All right. Thank you.
The conquest will continue until the power will come and the soil of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been wonderful, people, conversing and talking with you. Okay, so thank you, everybody. This is our program for today. Steve Ozamina, thank you very much.
Thank you so
for
much.
showing up. It's been good because what we have said today is very important for everybody to understand. And, of course, I wish you all the very best of this new week. This is our show for today. Thank you very much. My name is Barry Cosmos, and this is why we call it a wrap on today's program. Bye-bye for now. Up next, the Slim Diva with her Revolution.
Echo FM.
Echo FM 100.7, the fresh news people.
Sweet